guys, welcome to a coffee with here at the Holiday Inn on the A1. First of all, what's your order?
Well, I've ordered an English tea. If I was going to get a coffee, I'd get a white mocha, but because I don't have it all that often, when I do have it, it really gets to me and you can feel that kind of sugar rush, so just an English tea.
You're not quite in need of that rush just yet?
No, definitely not. At 2 o'clock on Monday, I'm alright. I'm hopefully home and have a nap, so a coffee won't help too much.
I was going to say, what would you typically be doing on an afternoon? And is a nap a part of it for you?
Not usually. With all the games we've been having and stuff, it's maybe becoming a wee bit more apparent, but I don't know, sometimes just go home and chill, and then other times maybe me and a few of the lads will try do something, whether it's go and play darts for a bit or just chill out for a while. So yeah, but nothing too extreme.
What about on a day off, you've got a full day to yourself, what would you do with that?
I like to pile up almost like chores and get washing done, get shopping done into food shopping and stuff, get washing, cleaning up done, all that kind of, and that takes up full morning basically. And then catch up really on any kind of TV shows or whatever that I missed, football highlights, maybe YouTube. And then, as I said again, maybe darts or snooker in the afternoon with a few of the boys, because I know, especially recently, I've been getting into it, so that usually, and to be fair, I don't mind cooking, so try and cook something a bit nicer rather than a kind of a tired meal.
What's your go-to then, cooking, if you were going to... Something a bit special, something a bit more special, yeah.
What have I been doing recently? Recently I've done chicken and chorizo and kind of pasta with the tomato and mascarpone sauce with a bit of spinach in it. It's alright.
It sounds good.
But if I was really going out there, I'd steak. Steak's easy, so I can do steak, bit of broccoli, bit of mashed potato. That would be my go-to.
What about any traditional Scottish stuff? You got any of that now?
Haggis and that. No. I don't mind haggis. I used to hate it as a child.
Yeah.
Going against every stereotype ever. So, but no, I like it. I don't mind it now. But no, haggis, neeps and tatties, I can't do any of that. I wouldn't think to do any of that.
So that's not in your lessons at school and stuff like that?
No, we have actually normal lessons back there. We don't believe, we don't just learn how to make haggis and drink iron brew. So no, I can't remember what we done H&E. Just done normal cooking stuff like the English kids would do. Yeah.
No, you like a bit of golf as well. Do you get to play much? No?
Never when I'm down here, no. It's something that I used to do it in season back home, just because there's less games and it was more Saturday to Saturday. I used to really, that's how I kind of got, no, I used to play golf when I was younger, but how, especially me and a couple of boys up there were maybe starting off at 18, 20 handicaps, we got down to maybe 10. But ever since I come down here, it's never been able to play. And to be fair, when the weather's like this most of the year when I'm down here, you don't miss out on much. But in the summer and that, I love it, especially even in pre-season when you can get a few days. It's good. Yeah,
there don't seem to be a big group of golfers with this squad at the minute, do there?
No,
there has been in past, with people.
Biggo was a big golfer. Yeah. He left. He was a good golfer as well. Close he can play. Joey's really good. Joey's annoyingly good at most sports. Every dad sport he's good at. But apart from that, there's not many that stick out. There's a few. There's Joey, Sabara, Nico. We all played in the summer for a bit, but as I said, that's more casual golfers rather than proper good ones.
You've recently moved out of the town.
Yeah.
Fairly quiet area that you've moved into. Do you like that kind of quiet life? For where you base yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely wouldn't like to live in the city. I think I'd like that in between and that's why I liked when I was living in Bowtry as well in the flat, that it was close enough to Donny where nothing's that far away, but it's also not in the town where it's really busy. And the place where I live now is really similar. It's only 15-20 minutes from anything that I need, and then you've still got that quietness and nice kind of walks and stuff like that. I do enjoy that, even though I don't have a dog, because it's too much commitment, I think, for especially when we're away all the time. Mum and dad and family and that are always on to me saying I should get a cat, dog, any animal, but it's too much commitment, especially when we're away Friday, Saturdays almost every week. So So if I could rent a dog for like a day on the Wednesday or a day off, I would take it out nice walks. But
you could earn yourself a few extra quid.
Exactly, yeah.
The dog walking.
Yeah, I'll do it cash in hand if anyone wants a dog walking. But yeah, I've been living there now a month, and I do really enjoy it. It's nice and quiet.
Yeah, is that what your kind of lifestyle's like back at home? Is that what you're used to? Or?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like, I live back in a place called Larbert, which is in Falkirk, but it's more in the centre of things. It's in between Glasgow and Edinburgh, which is like, maybe where I get it from, where it's like 25-30 minutes from like a big city. And there's not lots going on in Larbert. It's just families there, and it's not quiet at all. But it's in a nicer area, and it's not in the hustle and bustle of a city. So yeah, I guess you could say that's where I got that from.
We got plenty going on in that belt, though, haven't you, between Glasgow and Edinburgh?
Well, that's all there is. That's all there is in Scotland. There's hills and farms either side of it. So I enjoyed growing up there. Well, I didn't grow up in Falkirk, but when I moved there, it was good to be able to go to Glasgow. Because where I used to live was a bit further away, but it was good to be in between, and literally everything there, you're so close to everything. And it was ideal for us.
What do you miss about Scotland and living up there? Nothing?
Not a lot.
Nothing?
No.
Other than, you're going to say
the
family.
obvious family, friends, like whatever, yeah.
They'll be watching, so you've got to
exactly,
say.
yeah, I do miss yous, but now when I go back, which isn't very often, but when I do, I don't miss I don't miss being there at all. It's cold. It's colder. It's windy. Last summer when it all up, it was ridiculous. So I try to play golf, and it's windy every single day. It's like 20-30 mile an hour winds.
We had a week 15. Up there in August, and it was not. The weather was not
That's
good.
What I mean, but so what is there to miss up there that you don't have down here? Is the only thing is like family and friends. But yeah, weather's awful. Don't miss football. Miss the changing rooms actually. Although we've got a good changing room here, it's different up in Scotland. It's just mental all the time. It's more professional down here. I sometimes see my phone like stories from pals that I used to play with and stuff, and I do miss that bit. Also, it's just all the carry on. So I'm not missing out on much.
Is that just the difference between it sounds weird saying cultures between English and Scottish, but
yeah, there definitely is a difference, especially at the level. I mean, it's different because when I was at Rangers, there was obviously lots of foreign boys and stuff, so it's different. It's like a 9 to 5, not a 9 to 5, but like it's more like a work atmosphere. And then when I went to Ayr and Queen of the South, it was just like it's just all carry on. Not carry on. I mean, there's a bad way to put it, but it was every day was just laughing loads, and like training was serious, but it wasn't that serious. So and that was bad for me. I just carry on all the time and just have a laugh. So that is the main difference. Once you come down here, it's a lot more professional, and you need to be well with games. So whereas up there, like you can go 2 weeks, especially at the start of the season, you go 2 weeks without a game a lot of the time. So it's almost like you don't have to. A week of training's almost out the window. So that is the main difference.
Good for character building at that young age, I imagine.
Yeah, it was perfect for me because I would go in and just be myself because they were all white me in terms of wanting to have fun and stuff like that. When I was that age, it was perfect, and it was good on a football aspect as well. Not in terms of quality, but in terms of like building you up for men's football, because it's so intense up there into how quick the football is.
How was it then coming down here and kind of getting used to being part? Obviously, you say you have that experience with Rangers, that kind of probably that halfway house coming down.
It was good. As I say, it probably took me a couple months to really evolve into getting that professional every day. And adjusting to living by myself, which is obviously a big thing, but one that I'd prepared myself for really like 6 months before I knew I was coming down. I didn't know I was coming down, but before I knew I wanted to come to England, the biggest thing for me was try to prep myself for the physicality and the speed and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the first year here, despite how bad we were at times. It was good fun. Seeing all the different grounds, playing in front of much bigger crowds than what I'd played up in the Championship up in Scotland. It was really good, like learning year for me, and having although I had 2 different coaches, learning a different style of play. And yeah, it was really good for my development and what to expect in the seasons going forward. And also, as I said, living by myself, like, it was a big challenge for me personally, and kind of getting used to looking after my own space. Because back home, I'd probably watching this, my mum done everything for me. She just tidied up after me. So it was strange to go home and still see the house the way I left it. And then after training, being tired and having to do stuff around the house and cook your own dinners and do your own food shop and stuff like that. And it probably did take me a while to just get over that almost tiredness of having to think about and do everything. But once you're in the rhythm of doing it, it's easy.
I was going to ask you how much you've kind of... It were a bold move for you at the time. You know, you wanted first team football and you went out to search for that. That led you here. And I was just going to ask you how much you've benefited off it. But it sounds like not only on the pitch, off the pitch as well. Yeah,
well, originally Rangers obviously offered me to stay, even though I'd said to them the year before I left that I wanted to leave for first team football. And they, to be fair, they were fine. They understood, and Craig and everyone at the club was really good with us. And when I left, looking back, it was probably a wee bit naive, but like I thought I'd just get an English club straight away or whatever off the back. I did have two good seasons, but at the end of the day, it's Scottish Championship, and it's not the most prestigious league. So I was kind of expecting to just get a club, get an offer down here, and it didn't kind of entail that, where I was getting trial offers. I turned down a couple of trial offers at other clubs in England, just because I had a lot of belief in myself, and I was like expecting to have offers. And eventually when Gary phoned me for Doncaster, I was like, I knew obviously Doncaster, the club, I hadn't followed them. But once he told me about how big the club was, and everyone knows Doncaster as an area and stuff, so it was the one that excited me. I was like, right, okay, I'll come down for a trial. But yeah, big move. But I'm glad that I was brave in terms of knocking back. It was like good money at Rangers. You know, it would have been easy for me to stay, and a lot of boys do stay, which is fine. Stay, and I could have stayed and made up the places for European, like the homegrown rules and stuff like that. And I probably could have done that still be doing that, and getting the odd appearance here and there. But I always knew, well, when we first joined Rangers, saying like, as soon as we don't see first team football here, I need to leave. So like me and my family stuck to that, and I'm glad that it did bring me here, because and I enjoyed the trial period and stuff. And when I went home, I hadn't had an offer yet, but I was pretty confident that, you know, that this was the place I wanted to be, and that I'd done well enough to get an offer.
I suppose there's a good chance that if you don't take that move, you're probably going to be in that same situation a year or two down the line, and looking for something then. Oh,
100%, yeah. I think I was 20 at the time, so I thought, like, I'm still really young. I played 70, 75 games at that point, which is a good number for that age. So I thought, like, if I'm going to do it, I need to probably do it now, otherwise I see a lot of people where they get stuck on, I call it the carousel, and in the Championship and Premier League, where you just go around the clubs, and you could go, you know, from where I was, Ayr to Partick to Wraith and whatever, and just I could do that on 1 and 2 year deals. But I wanted more from my career for that, and I believed that I could do more. So that was probably why it was important at that stage, to try and take a step, and even if it wasn't at Doncaster, try and come down to England and prove myself.
You'd look on your time here, and I'm sure people out on the outside look on your time here as a success, but you've had your challenges as well. It were frustrating for you in those early few months, in and out of the team at that time, but then injuries have come as well. We talked about character building earlier, but you've had to deal with quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, that's been not just at Doncaster, but everywhere. Like I've had, I'm sure it's the same for everyone. They have setbacks, a lot of, you know, setbacks in their career and stuff. And yeah, as the way I was a youth, like got a lot of rejections from trials and stuff like that, and you just use that experience as you get older. So even when I came here, yeah, I didn't play loads at the start. I was in and out, doing okay, didn't do well, whatever. And then, to be fair, Danny was a big help when I came. Really somebody who I connected with. I know not everyone at the club, the fans and stuff didn't, but he really helped me in terms of, I mean, I buzzed off learning, learning about the style of play and stuff, and every day the coaching was something that I really enjoyed, and I think it really helped me settle into English football in terms of I was having good games, and it's helped me kind of just get my feet in the door. So yeah, that was like a big moment for me. Was I think it was the run between October to December. February maybe where I played like almost every game. Then obviously, as you said, like I've had injuries, tore my quad, which basically ruled me out for that rest of the season, and Danny leaves, so it's a fresh challenge for everyone to try and prove yourself. End up doing my knee, have an operation on my knee, and then it takes ages to get back. But as you said, you can't take the highs so high and the lows so low. A few weeks after my knee operation, I'm in the team and we go on an unbelievable run. So there's been really, really high moments here, and loads of times that I've enjoyed, and then you obviously get those low moments. And again, this season, like, I had the best pre-season I've had in my life. Like, finally get a good pre-season, and then first game of the season, break my foot on fresh air, which is just mental. But as I said, like, again, coming back in the team, and hopefully they'll stay and put in more good performances. But all throughout that, I've never not believed in myself or not believed that I can come back. Every time I've been injured, I've thought, nah, I'm just going to come back and get back to what I'm doing. So as you say, yeah, it builds a lot of character when you go through that. But that's not just me that does that. It's, you could go through almost every man in the squad and they'll have similar stories.
But you've got to have that belief, haven't you? Because you've got to ride through the rejections, the setbacks and stuff like that. If you haven't got that belief, it'd be so easy to kind of go into your shell and just kind of accept your lot, really. Yeah,
I think that's probably the cornerstone of a lot of footballers, having that own personal belief and not getting validation from other people's opinions on yourself. It's got to come from you and what you actually believe in yourself. Because everyone's going to have opinions, you know what I mean? Like, everyone, all throughout my career as well, people have different opinions on what I'm good at, what I'm bad at, what position I should play, you know what I mean? And all that stuff when you're growing up. So when it gets to when you're actually a professional, other people think you play good, bad, whatever. You have your own belief system and your own thing to fall back on and say, right, and a way to look at stuff where you can then process it and go into the next game, not having these thoughts of what people are saying about you and or what's happened to you. It can be easy to feel sorry for yourself if you're having a bad game, or it said like if you're having an unbelievable time and then get injured, it doesn't serve anyone's. It doesn't do anything for you having that. So the only thing you can do is kind of have that strong character.
You need it as well in kind of dealing with changing management, coaching staff and things like that. Some will be sort of fully behind you, some maybe not so much as well, but when you just kind of got to ride through it and just keep proving yourself and proving what you can do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when the manager came in here, it's a fresh start for everyone. You know, and maybe at the start, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't exactly preferred at the start, but you can't just then chuck your arms up and say whatever. You just need to walk away and wait for your opportunity. Everyone will say the same, and there's times where you're flying high and everyone wants to be around you, and then other times where you're injured or in these quiet days where you're not playing so well and the team's losing. We literally had it all in 2.5 years with managers, form, injuries, whatever. I mean, it's been a lot. So I think, as you said, like the character just in yourself is the biggest thing that you can hold on to.
It must be a boost as well when a manager does show that faith in you as well, whether that's giving you a new contract despite the injury troubles that you've had, or and the way that Grant McCann speaks about you and spoken about you kind of regularly and what you are capable of.
Yeah, I think it puts pressure on yourself to then deliver, but it also makes you feel like you want to deliver for that person, which everyone would tell you anyway, regardless of who the manager is. Just your professional pride, you always want to do well for yourself, but it's an added bonus when you feel that belief off the management staff, and that's not just for me, it's for everyone in the group. Manager is all the time talking about how much he believes in the group and how much he believes we can do this year. So eventually that starts to seep through into the group. You
feel as a group that belief of what you can do. You set a really high target this season of winning the league. We've been not the entirely smoothest road, but there's still a long time to go. You're confident in the group and what we're capable of.
Yeah, I think it's not. It was never going to be. I think like we do what Walsall are doing and go 15 points clear, and I don't think that was ever going to happen for the group. But luckily, I think for us, we've got a lot of boys who were here last year, and if you look at the league table this year, we're fifth or sixth right now. We're 22nd last year, 23rd. Like, we're a kick away from going 3 points outside the relegation zone. So, and that was later than this. So we know we've got a lot of time still to go and a lot of points still to play for. I'd agree. It's not been title-winning form or performances this year so far, but again, a lot of boys were here last year were really kicked on, and we're all believing as a group that we can do that again, especially after the last few results.
I suppose there's only been one team of Walsall that have shown that level of thought. Everybody else is very, very competitive, but
every year that I've been here, League Two has been really competitive. I think this year more so than any other is that there's a lot of teams bunched up in behind, and that kind of 45 to 35 points, and it was seen last year we'd come out of the pack from nowhere. So there's no point really even trying to define anything from the league table at 26 games, because it only matters where you are in 46. So
what's it been like dealing with that expectation as a group? You know, the manager comes out straight away and goes, the target is winning the league. You know yourself, everybody wants to win promotion, and that's going to be expectation anyway, but has there been any?
I think this year is the first time that I felt as a football club that we've expected to do something. I think the first season when I came down, we got relegated the year before. So everyone knows how hard it is when you get relegated to kind of stop that. The first year the manager was here was anything could have happened, and it did. Everything did happen. You know what I mean? Whereas this year, everyone's and outside talk as well has been, Doncaster, a good team, will be up there. I don't think that's affected. I think, especially, I've seen it a lot worse. I don't think the expectations are that pressurising on us. I've seen it at Rangers where it really is, where it follows you around for the full time. Obviously, I wasn't part of that, but I can see what it does to people and the feeling of pressure. There's none of that around the place. There's obviously professional pressure that we put on ourselves, and internally we want to win the league. But I don't think it's affected performance in terms of the pressure. I think, oh my God, if we lose this, there's 46 games. You know what I mean? There's loads of points to play for still, and there's still 60 to play for. And to be fair, when we've been put under pressure, I think in games or when we know it's a big game, I think most of the time this group's delivered. Especially last year, we couldn't lose a point, couldn't drop a point, and we delivered for 12 games. So it's definitely within the group to go on and do that again.
What's it like having that Rangers badge on your chest and being part of all that? We've kind of seen where Ethan Ennis and Charlie Crew coming in from really big clubs, the kind of buzz on social media and from their supporters, Manchester United and Leeds, and even when you're not sort of directly involved, I bet all eyes are on you anyway.
It is mental, especially Rangers used to have a lot of people who follow youth games and stuff, and I felt sorry for the first team boys when I was there, because it's just that it follows you around full of guys who couldn't move. It is a goldfish bowl up there. I imagine it's not as intense down here. Even though Ethan's from Man United and stuff, it's more online. It's down here where there's a lot of attention online and people looking at you doing. Whereas up in Scotland, I think it's very real and every day it's not on your phone. It's actually in person where people are following you around or people are looking to catch you out, which is a bit mental. It's just that it's not up there.
But I'm going to say, like Glasgow, it's a big city, but it's not a big city as well, is it?
No, it's not a big city. It is in terms of size, but everyone knows everything about everyone up there, and if someone does slip up, there'll be, even if it doesn't come out, the people know about it. There's some mental stuff that goes on, but as I said, rivalries down here are a lot different. It's about the football and whatever, but it's not up there. But the pressure of playing for Rangers is more intense, and Rangers and Celtic is way more intense than I don't know, but I could say probably for Man United, but I imagine it's really intense playing for Man United. But if you're not winning inside 20 minutes at Ibrox, they'll let you know about it. So yeah, I do feel sorry for them when I see it, but when it's going good, one of the best. Everyone sees it on European nights and stuff. When it's going good, it's the best place to play your football.
Yeah. Would you like to go back up and play?
No.
Back up in Scotland? No.
Not that I wouldn't. I don't know. It's not something that I really think about. I'm not ever like, I really want to go back up. I'm sure if a really good opportunity presented itself, then obviously I'd think about it. But it's not. It never really crossed my mind where I'm like, I've got my roots down here. I love playing football down here. My dad loves coming down to the games. He loves English football. Loves FA Cup. Like all my family love coming and watching games in the good stadiums. And you don't play up there. There's 10, 12 teams in one league. They need to expand. That's a different conversation. They need to expand the leagues.
Yeah.
But down here, you're going to 20 different places and getting to see different parts of the country and playing football in always different stadiums. So yeah, for me, I really enjoy English football. I watch stay in England for as long as I can, probably.
Your dad like taking the grounds off then? So.
Yeah, he does. He enjoys coming down when he can. He was gutted he didn't come. He let my mum and my sister come to Hull a couple of weekends ago, so he was gutted he missed that, I think, because he loves coming to the FA Cup games. But yeah, he's seen some good, especially at the end of last season when I was back fit and the team was doing really well. I think he tried to get to almost every game apart from we played Colchester on Tuesday night and he missed that one. But yeah, no, he enjoys coming.
Where would, looking ahead a kind of a year or two, where would you like to be? What would you like to have gone off over that period of time?
No, we've talked about it a lot, but me staying healthy. It's just right now, it's not right now, but it seems to have been like get a good run going or so get something good going and then there's something waiting around the corner. Even last season when we were in the good run in the middle of it, I had a hamstring knock and I had the worst tonsillitis you'll ever likely to see. So just staying healthy for me is the main thing, and just getting a really good run of games, not even just for this season but then taking it into next season. Hopefully that's in League One with Doncaster. But again, I always say as well when people ask, I get a lot of questions, like what do you plan to do and stuff like that. Like it's football. Like I remember when I was really young, 18, 19, trying to like plot my moves or like think about like loan teams I'm going to go and where I'm going to play. It never works out the way that you think it's going to work out, and there's always something waiting around the corner for you. So I honestly never think about like even like targets of like what are we playing here or there or earning this amount. I never really, because there's so many things can happen so quickly in football that you never know.
How realistic were you when you were plotting where you might end up with a few dream ones?
Well, I was just
Champions League from Madrid.
A Scottish Championship team on loan. That was the main thing. I was trying to get one of them, and there wasn't many. There's not many to choose from. There's only 10 teams. So yeah, that was that. But then after that, to be fair, I never even plotted playing for Rangers first team because I knew that was going to happen. I had Croatia's left back in front of us, so a big cross through that. Look somewhere else. But no, after that first year where I thought I was going to somewhere else alone, and I ended up going to Queen of the South, who are one of the bottom teams.
Was that when you were going to go abroad? Was the one with the time when you were going to go abroad?
That was my second loan, where they were talking about sending me to. They had a link up, I don't think they still do, with Orange County in LA. Yeah. It sounds unreal, doesn't it? It does sound good, but I'm not sure about the football. And they offered it to me actually, and I think it might have been my last 6 months. I just said, nah, it's just like, if I go over there, then I come back. Like I said, like English teams don't touch if you played in. If you just went up for a joy up for 6 months in LA. But yeah, before I came here, I looked at a few foreign stuff, which I think if I was going to do, I'd have done it. I would be open to doing it. But it's too hard to do off the cuff. It needs to almost be in motion for months. So yeah, it wouldn't be something that I'd be planning for.
I always finish these with the same sort of question. When all said and done, when your career's finished, how would you like people to talk about you as a player? What would you like people to say and have taken from what you are out on the pitch and the sort of person that you are?
Well, I always think as well when I've never been asked it before, but when I thoughts on it are that I would rather people remember me as the person I was, like in the changing room and stuff like that, and like being good with people. that's the number one thing, because you can't guarantee they're going to be an 8 or 9 out of 10 every week, right? But you can guarantee that you're going to be a good person to everyone that you meet at the club, whether that's not players, that means all staff and stuff like that. So that'd be the first thing. But then as a player, good technically, definitely. I'd like them to remember that. I don't want them to think that I just kick it up and down the line in the channels. And somebody would bring energy when he, especially when he could, and a bit of quality. That's all you can really ask for as a player. I think not going to be remembered for 40 yarders.
Hey, you nearly had that run on Saturday.
A 40 yard run would be. I don't think you can kick the ball past 40 yards. But no, definitely just good quality and a hard worker at things. Yeah.
But top man, thanks for that, James.
Thank you.